headliner,
Yeah.
which is the hands-on with the Xbox Series X. So, like an insanely numerous amount of content creators, and we're not one of them, were able to received Xbox Series X from Microsoft directly. Like it felt, I don't know how many are out in the wild, but even just
A
random
lot.
YouTube creators that I like, they're like, I've got an Xbox Series X. I'm like, wow, okay, this is thousands of units that they've pushed out into the world, and I can hear, because I've been hearing a lot of podcasts where people have got them, and they're sort of like, oh, I can't talk about this or I can't talk about that, and there's like rumors about it being too hot, which are unsubstantiated, and some people are like, oh no, it's not, but I can't talk about it. But the funny thing about the Xbox launch, and I want to get your thoughts on it, is there's kind of like no games coming out for it, really.
No, I can't think of anything.
There's nothing like, hey, this is a game that's coming out. Oh, even Miles Morales, right? It's like, oh, okay, there's a chunky game that's coming out that, a lot of people would want to play. With Xbox, I'm a bit like, Halo Infinite was meant to be that game.
Yeah, but
and
it's delayed.
All the coverage is like, hey, how cool is this quick resume feature where you can switch between like 6 games, 5 or 6,
which is
six
pretty
games.
cool.
It's cool,
That's something I
backwards
actively use a lot,
compatibility,
but yeah.
things are running faster, but it's sort of a bit like, it's genuinely like, you do not need this at launch.
Not
right?
at launch, absolutely not. So, I mean, I don't remember when the Xbox One came out, what games were at launch, to be honest, even though, like I said,
2013.
What games? All I remember is the box that I got had FIFA on it, and that's probably one of the few games I don't actually play. But I think there were other games at launch. I'm really struggling to remember now because there's been so many games since. But
there are launch games. I mean, like with the Series X, like as far as I understand, like almost all the games can be played on the Xbox One.
The ones that are coming at launch.
Yeah.
So I guess what's the point other than just being an early adopter, an early adapter?
Yeah. No, and like, for some people, if it's exactly like what they love to do, I do get it.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm not understanding of it. It's just kind of surprising to launch like that.
I agree.
Yeah. And again, Halo Infinite is the one, right? Like
was meant to be the one, yeah.
Yeah. It'd be playing so much better on a Xbox Series X. So,
but I
it's
guess
kind of like, oh.
That's the thing. The backwards compatibility is probably going to be a big thing. So if you're able to get your hands on an Xbox One, I actually tried to pre-order one, even though, strangely enough, I went from, hey, I got to have the Xbox One X when they came out, or the Xbox One when it originally came out, to, I don't really care about the Xbox Series X at the moment. It's probably also because I'm into PC gaming and stuff now a bit more. But I think the backwards compatibility thing is still kind of a good selling point. If a lot of titles that you currently own will run better on the new console, it's worth the upgrade. I mean, I know EB Games, for example, here in Australia, they did the deal where you got $350 off of something when you traded the Xbox One X. So yeah, you still pay another $350 on top to be able to get your hands on the new console. But for a lot of people that have that sort of disposable income, getting double the frame rate in a lot of games and having a way smoother experience makes sense. So I don't think that's necessarily, obviously, their marketing angle when they're trying to push the new consoles out. And I don't think they even need to do marketing, given that it's sold out literally in seconds. I tried to get I went on the original pre-order when it was available. It was.
So you did try to order
absolutely, yeah. It was in my cart.
I like how you're kind of talking about like, hey, I don't need this. I don't
I
really want this. And it's like I tried to order it.
I don't want the fear of missing out. So no, because mostly because they had the really good trade value, and I figured I've got 2 Xbox One X consoles. The second one, which I got relatively cheap, which I think I traded in the S for. So it's like it's a trade that goes into a trade. And I was thinking of using that to trade towards the new console. But anyway, I went on there and I was there when the actual pre-order started. I had the page open. I was logged in. I had my credit card details pre-filled. Everything was, good to go. Put it in the cart. Couldn't check out. And it was just nonstop screws up after screws up, and it didn't go anywhere. So I tried again in the second batch, same deal. The people that got it, absolutely lucky. So they don't even need market. They don't even need launch games to sell this console. At least here in Australia, it just
they literally don't
sold straight away, like the proverbial hotcakes. And I think maybe the backwards compatibility for some people is the current selling point. If it can play my current games way better than the current console does, I'm sold.
Because normally I'm not at all a big fan of, when people take their PS3, trade it in to get a PS4. I'm like, oh, don't do that, because you might want to go back to the PS3, and it's not backwards compatible, right? But with this, it is kind of different, because Xbox is so good on the software side as well as the hardware side of backwards compatibility, where it's like, it kind of is just like an upgrade to a One X, but it is the new gen as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of incredible.
I think it'd be pretty cool. Eventually I'll get my hands on one, absolutely. If anything, just to play the current backlog of games that I have a little bit better. But I did also pre-order the PlayStation 5. That one I actually managed to get my hands on. So maybe they had more stock. I doubt it was an issue with...
No, I don't think so.
Well,
I think it's that one, no one knew it was going up.
Maybe that's
in the
why
way it went up.
Yeah.
So
I had a mate who messaged
and you were like...
me. I didn't know. I actually didn't know about it. A mate messaged me. It's like, hey, I just pre-ordered this. And I went, you know what? Yeah, all right. Screw it. I'll do it as well. And I managed to get in, no problem. And I'm kind of looking forward to it. And I think this is maybe a good segue to talk a bit about the PS5 teardown.
Yeah. Let's get into the teardown.
Yeah.